It's that time again. It's time for the VCB Podcast with your hosts, Jason Smith and Reynaldo Villarreal. Oh, I'm feeling the heat. Not really. It's been really nice outside. Like, Fresno's finally having a spring. Amazing. It's been a long time since we had a June like today. Let's go ahead and get the show on the road. Before we get started, let me bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Reynaldo Villarreal. What's up, Ray?
Summer. Oh, I don't know why, but I've always loved the idea of summer and sun and all things hot.
Really? I'm guessing you don't have much experience with heat.
Nope.
How's it going, Jason?
You had to call me out just because I want a little bit of heat in my life. Like, it's been a long time since we had a June this nice, and I find myself kind of wondering where the heat's at.
I think it's officially the start of summer. I think I saw that something, and then the forecast is like 80 degrees and breezy.
And breezy.
I was like
the evenings are perfect.
Did Olaf come to visit, and that's why it's so chill?
I'm a happy snowman.
I'm a happy snowman. Oh my gosh, it's I'm just gonna knock on wood that it just stays like this for a little longer. So
I was telling my stepdaughter's father, because he was like last week, and he was like, it was so hot, and I'm like, dude, it was like 95, and he goes, that's hot, and I'm like, do you remember where you live? Like 95 is beautiful in the late June. Are you kidding me? I said, and then the sun goes down, and I could sit out on the porch, and there's this breeze, and I'm just like, dude, it's not hot. This is not hot. Hot is when you walk outside and you feel your skin melting, and then the sun goes down and it still feels like your skin's melting. That's Fresno heat to me. I'm loving this weather.
No, I agree 100% and loving it. Hope it stays around for the whole summer.
Yes.
I doubt it, but
no, it's needed. I know my family and I are really enjoying the opportunity just to have outdoor time without it being so hot. So yeah, I'm loving it.
I love the long summer days, actually.
Yeah.
That's what I'm enjoying the most, is getting off of work and being able to go outside and it still be sunny, and being able to stay out there till like 8:30, 9 o'clock sometimes.
It's gorgeous.
Awesome.
Just absolutely beautiful. Hey, before we get started, we want to remind you all to head over to myvcb.org. That's myvcb.org. Check out the calendar. Everything is still happening here. During the summer times, we're not stopping anything. So all of our community calls are live, meaning you got book club, coffee with Alvin, our game nights. You got our young adult group. If you're looking to get plugged in, go to myvcb.org. Pick the event that you want. Go ahead and call the center at 559-222-4447. Talk to Matt. Matt will get you all linked up on any of the community calls that you want more information on, or the link to join the Zoom call. So make sure you head on over to myvcb.org. And we also have, since it's summer, and this is a great time to talk about this, Adaptive Sports is around the corner. If you're a DOR client, I'm going to repeat that. If you're a DOR client, contact myself, Jason, or Jamie, or your case manager to get linked up for Adaptive Sports coming up at the end of July and the beginning of August. We have 2 trips going. I believe there's 10 spots on each trip, so make sure that you get your name on the list. We're going to our youth, and then whatever other openings we got, we're going to fill those in. So Adaptive Sports is back. 2 trips booked for this summer, so make sure you contact your case manager if you're part of DOR. Get the information about Adaptive Sports.
Yeah, don't miss out. It's a very amazing and fun event. I love it. I wish I could go.
Yeah, it's rock climbing, kayaking, paddleboarding, hiking, fishing. Campfires are amazing. We have s'mores, amazing food.
I like the breakfast burritos.
Breakfast burritos are bomb. And it's so funny that the guy that gave me my first job ever makes those burritos.
There you go.
It's pretty funny. Shout out Norman at Shaver Lake Cafe. It's right there on the left-hand side as you pull into Shaver. Just saying. Good. Tell him Norm I sent you. The best thing about Adaptive Sports too is there's so many great stories that came out of last summer. I had the most amazing time watching people grow as individuals during this process. And 2 of those individuals that went last summer were new to blindness. And not only did they excel there, and you guys met Alonzo. Alonzo was on the podcast a couple episodes ago. He went up and totally killed it in the snow.
Oh, wow.
And so did Norm, right? Not Norm. Norm's on the brand. Lou. Lou went up there and killed it as well. And another gentleman, Wyatt, good buddy Wyatt, right? He's a brilliant young man. He went up there, enjoyed it so much, him and his family went back up several times to work with Randy and go down the mountain some more.
Oh, there you go, Wyatt.
So,
good job.
Adaptive Sports this summer. Don't miss it. Contact your case manager, Jamie or myself. We'll get you all lined up at everything you need to know information-wise and let you guys know where we're at as far as openings. Adaptive Sports 2023. Don't miss it. Man, I could do commercial.
Movie trailer. Awesome.
We also had an amazing event here last week to those who can make it. And I wanted to talk about that. Alvin put together.
Shout out, Alvin.
Shout out, Alvin. Alvin put together a tech, what do you call it, conference?
Tech fair.
Tech fair. Yeah, tech fair. He had some presenters come. It was all about wearables. So really a lot of good information for people with partial vision. But we had a fantastic turnout, bro.
You guys had a packed house. Yeah. I unfortunately wasn't able to attend, but I heard so much things about this event and already people planning for the next one.
Yeah, there was so many people just inquiring. And even though the presentations were on wearables, obviously the vendors that were here are multi knowledgeable about all things for assistive technology. So a lot of great conversations were happening. The vendors were on a high. There were so many questions and so many people. It was such a great turnout. I know Alvin is looking to book another one, and it'll probably be based all around tech period, assistive technology period. And that, there's no set date yet, but if I was in the community, what I would do is call in and talk to Matt. I guess we'll put that on Matt. You can call me. You can ask for me too, Jason, and give us if there's something out there that you want to know more about, whether it's OrCam or Braille notes or anything like that. Just give us a heads up, and I'll make sure Alvin gets that message, and then we can maybe set something up because it was really, really popular, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a place like this in a long time. It was just buzzing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna release a lot of information, but I heard, it was pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm not. Come on, don't get us in trouble, Ray. Why are you gonna try to get us in trouble?
I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble. All I know, Thomas was walking up and down the hallways. That's all I need to say. I'm glad that
all I said, it was a great turnout. That's all I said.
It was a great turnout. I'm not doubting that. Yeah. I'd love to.
We learned a lot.
We did learn a lot.
Learned a lot, yeah.
Yes, there will be definitely a lot of, adjustments in the future, but
100%.
Yeah.
But we'll make it work.
And, if there's anything else out there that people would like the agency to host, like an event, somebody come out and a guest speaker, give us a call too. We're interested in hearing your guys', your needs or your wants, and whatever we can try to arrange, we'll try to make it work. So
yeah, anything that we can do to bring the community together is so key.
Because it was amazing to see the community come out like that, and for technology. Especially.
We even had the low vision clinic open that day. And I even got to meet a gentleman by the name of Greg Lee. Oh, Greg, if you're listening to the podcast, welcome to the community. What a great man. Like, he was a Eagle Scout. So we were talking adaptive sports, needless to say, but we had such a great conversation. And again, he is not new to sight loss, but he's new to the process of going through, low vision services, DOR. So it was just great to make connections. So when you get that many people in office, right, connections are about to be made, right? Like friendships and connections. And it was just an all around amazing day for the center.
Yeah.
So definitely the more that we can get of that, the better.
The more, and there's a lot more to come.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That was awesome. It was awesome. Hey, we are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. So if you have not heard the news, we are 50 years old in about a month.
Yeah, actually,
This month.
in
This
July.
month will be 50.
Yeah, starting. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. To
I know,
think
it's
about.
going by so fast. Like this year's going by fast, let alone. But so we have dedicated the podcast and most of our social media and a lot of our events around our 50-year anniversary. It's a great milestone for the center and all the things that we're able to accomplish here at Valley Center for the Blind, not only giving people employment these days, but just continuing our service and focus on independence and giving people the skills they need to find their way through school, get a job, or just be back into the community, being with their family and enjoying life.
Yep.
So on that note, we're going to kick it off to our next segment where I have a very special guest. I think everybody will be waiting to hear from this young man and a lot of his... I'm trying really hard to sell this.
I wonder who it is.
I wonder who it is. But let's go ahead and jump into the segment because today it's all about AT. It is time for VCB Stories, brought to you by the VCB Podcast. Today, it's all about assistive technology, and we're going to take a deep dive on what assistive technology is, also how it can translate into making you a better, more efficient person dealing with vision loss. And today, our special guest... I wish I had a drum roll on my mix right now because I think it would be perfect. But nevertheless, the man, the myth, the legend, Reynaldo Villarreal. What's up, Ray?
How's it going, Jason?
That's 2-in-1 podcast.
2-in-1 podcast. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
I thought it would be fitting since we are focusing on assistive technology this month, that it would be fitting since it's 50 years. You know, we heard from Tom this year. So I thought in this episode, I would love to bring somebody that not only has the experience of AT, but really, I know I've been a part of meetings and stuff where you've gotten a lot of, like I said, and I know you're very humble and I appreciate that, but you've done a lot for the community in teaching assistive technology. And I respect your humbleness, but at the same time, we all are given gifts, and you have a gift to teach. Mm-hmm. So if you have a gift to teach and you use it, and you've gotten some of the success stories that I've heard in the way that people talk about you, I think it's fitting that I bring you in to talk about assistive technology this month. So
yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's assistive technology has a special part in me, in my heart, because it's where, I started primarily with the agency. Mm-hmm. So I thank you for considering me to come on and talk about this lovely topic. And, some people out there still try to tell me to get out, come back to assistive technology and Alvin, says I need you come out of retirement.
Hey, for the record though, has it really ever stopped?
Not in the sense of
one-on-one training,
maybe, but I still am always helping and talking about it and showing my passion for it and advocating for why it's necessary. And it's amazing, even like on Friday, I went to, we did a job fair and explaining to people, how my technology works, and explaining what their job would be doing on how to advocate for what we do, and I talk about in the workplace how assistive technology helps. So,
well, you also get to see the other side, and we'll get into that as the podcast goes on about the other side. But yeah, I mean, you might have left the training program part of it as a teacher, but you are definitely a part of seeing the training come to fruition and more. So we'll get into that, but let's go ahead and start off by let's. I think we dove into your story once before, but it's been a while. So, how did you personally find Valley Center for the Blind?
Oh my gosh, it goes back to my my middle school, or even a little earlier than that. My middle school years primarily is what I remember. I started off, actually, it's kind of funny. I started working with Tom. Tom, I was in a summer program to teach youth on assistive technology, and at the time we were focusing more on Supernova, which is a screen reader / magnification program, similar to Zoom Text and Fusion and JAWS. All of our lovely programs. See, I'm already geeking out. But yeah, I started off with Tom, at this agency. Well, with Tom taught from VCB, but also partnered with a other agent program. I don't know what you call it. It was a retail store / program. Anyways, and I went every week to the class, and I learned assistive technology from Tom, and that's where it started. I was like, oh my gosh, I can still do things with computers, because I loved computers when I was young. I always took computers apart, even with my visual impairment, which for those that are not aware, I have retinitis pigmentosus. So it's a condition that, as you get older, your
progressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it gets a little worse. It's like, best way I explain it to people is like if you're dimming the light in a room, and then slowly closing it in. Mm-hmm. So anyways, we'll pass that. But yeah, it started off with Tom.
Start off with Tom.
We
so fitting.
It is so fitting, and I was like in the 7th grade, I believe, 7th grade when I started. And Tom told me about Valley Center for the Blind, and he's been there, and the volunteer work he started off with, and some of the just the classes that he started teaching, and he showed me all the different technology. I remember seeing Tom walking across Blackstone with his Trekker Breeze. For those that don't know,
right,
the Trekker Breeze is a sonar assistive technology mobile device. It's something that, and Tom, if you listen, yes, I do remember that. It still amazes me that you use that sonar technology. It attached to his cane, and it allowed him to be able to detect items in front of him with vibration. It was pretty darn awesome.
And the cool thing is anybody that has usable vision that has watched Tom leave this facility and trek over to the bus, he's the epitome of what we're capable of doing.
Yeah. And so from that point on, I kept going. I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept working with Tom and just picking his brain and falling in love again with technology. And then with that, I took that skills that I learned, and I carried it over into high school with me. And in my high school, they had a magnet program that specialized in technology and engineering, architecture, and manufacturing. So, of course, I took on that technology aspect, and I learned how to set up computer labs, networks, servers, and things like that. And I got a certification in Cisco Essential hardware and software. And I was able to do all that with assistive technology.
Fantastic.
And then high school finished. Got my certificates and my degree and my high school diploma and things like that, and went off to college and came back to VCB for some additional training. ILS, shout out to ILS.
Yes.
And finished all my training there, and there was a position opening up for assistive technology instructor, and I was like, I have a heart for this. I love technology. I'm going to give it a shot. And I applied, and I interviewed for it, and here I am.
And well, that's how we met.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you and I met. Ray was my AT instructor. On that note too, like from your days of early on, your early days of AT, what was the primary focus on what we taught? Like the main
keyboard training.
Typing teacher.
Oh my gosh. I can tell you guys so many stories about talking typing teacher, but I could tell you my own personal story about, I don't know if it was called talking typing teacher back in elementary school. So I was diagnosed really early. So I was provided a TVI, teachers visually impaired,
I was not.
Sorry. I was provided an instructor to come once a week at my home school site and give me training in all types of stuff, not just AT, but they taught me Braille, mobility, provided me large print for my class materials. But there was a summer time, again in the summer. Wow. Summer. I was in a summer program, so I was at a different school site, and this teacher would come visit me, and we would be learning how to use the computer and using typing. And at the time, they used this like little roll-on keyboard protector, and they put these large print stickers on it for me to help me learn, and then they transitioned it to Braille. But anyways, long story short, the teacher came in. I was in the class. I didn't notice that the teacher came in because the lights were off. They were watching a movie. And the teacher that was going to teach me keyboard training for my TVI teacher, she pulled another student, didn't know, put the other student on keyboard, and the student was just like blowing the teacher out of the way. She's like, "Ray, how are you doing all this so fast? You picked it up so quick." And then she turned over and realized it wasn't me. So anyways, but that was my story about typing classes that I had to take.
I know that they use different programs now to teach typing, but if you're new to sight loss, if maybe you have diabetic retinopathy or something, and maybe you're just not really good on a keyboard, there's a lot of different programs out there, but forever in my heart will be Talking Typing Teacher. And it's a great program. It's an older program, but they have great feedback. They play great games. I'm night and day from the time I walked in here to how I type now.
Yeah, and it's a key foundation for anything. It helps with muscle memory. That's the key thing, is like to be able to not rely on your eyes, just rely on muscle memory, because that also carries over to a lot of other things in your life. So if you can remember the keyboard layout, you can remember the desktop layout.
And there's always tricks to that tray too, because I know like bump dots. I noticed that a lot of us around here use bump dots.
Yes.
Because there's certain keys like the T, the U, backspace. There's a few different ones.
Your layout of your bump dots is interesting. I'm not gonna lie. There's a standardized or a regular normal, but some people just go out and do some other different.
Yeah, I mean, it helps with the muscle memory, bro. Yeah. Like literally, I had a problem with R and T, so I just said, I'm gonna slap a bump dot on that T, and I know I'm hitting it every single time. And now when I'm on a keyboard that doesn't have it, I'm hitting the T.
It's funny because you say that, and I'm an former assistive technology, and I knew technology, and I've done keyboard training. I, for some reason, could not remember a password, or I swore I was using the same. Like I knew this password. I don't know why I replaced the Y with the T, and it took me forever to figure out I did that. I was like, why did I do that? But now I can get why you do the R and the T. The Y it's a one.
Y, the T, it just in that T helps me with the R and helps me with the Y. So it's a combination, and it helps with that muscle memory because you do it long enough. When you remove the bump dot, it's like training wheels on a bike. If you ever rode a bike, right? You start, your dad or mom takes the training wheels off the bike, and all of a sudden, at first you're kind of wobbling because you're used to those training wheels being there. But then next thing you know, you're just
taking off.
You're gone, and you jump on a bike and you go.
Yeah, Nathaniel wants to do that.
Exactly, right? And so I use bump dots as my training wheel. Mm-hmm. But typing is the key component to lead into what I consider essential, which is. What do you teach next?
Windows.
How do you teach? So how do you teach Windows though? With what?
With a screen reader or a Zoom text magnification. So whatever AT software that you're needing, if that's Supernova, NVDA, Narrator. I applaud that you guys are getting really good in Windows and their accessibility team. They're doing a really great job with Narrator now. So that's pretty cool. But yeah.
Well, just stuff that come right out of the computers we buy anymore.
Yeah, just Mac, Apple, VoiceOver, all that.
Gosh. And I will say this because I'm coming from pure experience. So when I say this, meaning literally this is my story, right? Mm-hmm. Is even if you're a partial and magnification works for you at the time, I encourage you make JAWS one of the first things, or
Silence
narrator or anything like
any of your screen reader counter.
Because eventually you're going to need it, and it's better to have it now than later.
Mm-hmm.
Now you taught me voiceover on the Mac,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm still, I probably could be more fine-tuned in that, but I tend to use PC here a lot.
Yeah.
So
It's a PC world in the employment field.
at the time when you were training me, it was like I was all Mac, Apple,
Yeah,
and I still am.
Yeah.
But here it's like I didn't have the JAWS training, right? So now it's like I'm personally still in JAWS training. I'm picking it up fast because I'm familiar with
The foundation.
foundations of it, and I know the computer lingo. So there's a lot more that could help you in that journey. But don't take for granted the sight you have, and definitely don't take for granted the sight you're not going to have in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that we all have that conversations as instructors with our students is, hey, we're not just preparing for the now, we're preparing for the future. And, that's the great thing about, our agency. We tailor our trainings to the individual, and we get there to that goal setting. We create SMART goals here at the agency, and we want to make sure that we are making attainable goals.
Mm-hmm.
See, Shalina's going to be proud of me for saying
There you
stuff
go.
like that. Shout out, Shalina. But it's true though, because we want to make sure that everyone's prepared for whatever opportunities come to them, after their training, because you never know. You could be recruited by, NASA. You never know. I know there's actually an agency that works with NASA, and they have some tech people in there and helping them out. So, we always want to be prepared.
Always be prepared. And then there's some of the other things that come along with assistive technology that are fun, but yet useful tools. So can you talk about some of those magnifiers, wearables, things like that, or even notes?
Yeah, there's so many things out there. Like one of my favorite technologies are my Patriot goggles. It's something from North State Assistive Technology. It's one of their wearables. It's all wearables are, it depends on your eyes and your needs and things like that. These are one of the things that help me out so much because with my condition, I need a lot of light. And with these goggles, they're able to create an image in the vision that I get from the goggles, and I'm able to see my family. I'm able to interact with my son and my daughter.
Yeah.
In areas where I didn't feel like I would be able to, and one great thing about that is my son loves to build things. He's a very, creative mindset. He loves Legos. He's 4 years old. We're actually learning science now, he's in a summer academy, so he's doing science projects. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about that, but being able to throw on those goggles and actually read the manuals and go step by step with him to show them that, I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. I thought, we're going to have to pull mom in and have mom and dad and brother, do this thing. But this is something that me and him can do as, son and dad, bonding time.
Yep.
And I'm only able to do that with those goggles. And it's amazing.
And just in case you may have forgot or never heard, which I'm sure you've heard, but they do have Legos that have Braille on them.
Yeah, I just saw an article about that too, and that's pretty amazing. I'm gonna try to look into those, and because my children are very aware of my visual impairment, and it's pretty amazing. So they're aware of like Linux and my cane, and the next step is because I've been reading books to them. Yeah, and I have Braille books, and that's a type of assistive technology right there, just Braille in
itself.
Braille in itself.
It's becoming a lost art in some areas. We're
definitely gonna make a change here at the agency to push Braille.
It's needed.
Braille. So, anyways, I was almost gonna leak something, but I'm not gonna leak it. I love doing that. Anyways,
I know.
So no, it's great. That's just one one thing. It's not 100% necessary for life, but it's something that brings me joy.
I think it is though, because if you've ever been on, I've been in this situation, right, where I've been on an elevator by myself, lighting conditions poor. Not every elevator is numbered the same.
Oh, and some of them don't even have Braille.
Exactly. And that's a whole nother issue, but maybe finding a hotel room. You may not need to be necessarily, and that sounds bad me saying that though, like you may not have to go and pull down a book and read it, but you're definitely going to be able to find a hotel, bathroom, elevator numbers, room numbers in the hospital, all sorts of different scenarios I can think of where it's survival of the fittest, man. You got to have the basic Braille.
Yeah, no, definitely.
If you're low vision or blind, you need basic Braille.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like you need it. Period.
You get those, you should be fine with general labels. So, but yeah, so that's one fun technology. The goggles, there's just a lot, like color identifiers is considered an assistive technology, for making sure that you're wearing the appropriate clothing that you want to match correctly. There's video magnifiers, portable video magnifiers to read your mail. That's great technology to have. There's OCR readers for like the OrCam. That's a very great.
OrCam is very popular, very expensive, but very popular.
Yeah, it sometimes it's just worth it. If it makes a difference in your life and you can justify it, go for it. Why? We justify a lot of things in our lives, and other people have opinions about it, but we decide as humans to do that. So if this is something that's going to make a change in your life for the better, then and if you can afford it, go for it.
And on that note, that's a great segue, because you said if you can afford it. Let's talk a little bit about how things have developed just in our day to day, right? Like I'm talking mainstream products now that are implementing technology in it, which is making it more affordable and available to more people.
Yeah, you could think about all your smart devices at home, your Amazon's Alexas, and things like that, and your Google Homes and your Apple TVs, your Rokus. They all come with assistive technology built into them now.
The crazy thing is, and I know the TV I'm about to mention is not the only one, but about a year and a half ago, I bought an LG TV, and I brought it home and I turned it on, and right out the box, it cued me.
Yeah.
If you need accessibility, I said yes, and I turn on my TV, it tells me it's on, it tells me if update, yes, no. It is completely accessible right out of the box. Obviously, it has this built-in smart TV. I can access everything just from the TV itself. I also have an Apple TV that I love, but like, I'm just saying, like that's a perfect example of how these days, before you would have to have a TV and then almost forced to buy something that had it, like Apple TV or something that would help.
Yeah, or you just go without, and you have to have your family member help you out.
Right, or you just listen and change the channel and you dealt with it.
Yeah, or you call the cable guy, hey, set up my TV. It's like, yeah.
And above and beyond that, because the smartphone has adapted itself into our world in a major way.
All the apps on there, on the App Store. Seeing AI is a game changer.
Yep.
I love teaching that app, to our clients, even to our older clients, that are don't have the initial confidence in the beginning of using their devices, and they're like, I don't know, but then you show them, and then a couple of weeks later, they're down the hallway, on using voiceover, using Seeing AI, just it's amazing.
Be My Eyes.
That's a wonderful crowd supporting app right there. If those that don't know it, it's an app that volunteers with our sighted volunteers can join, and you make a call and on through the app, and they'll pair you with the sighted volunteer, and they're able to assist you through your FaceTime or your whatever kind of video call that you have on your device. I think, video call. And then, say, hey, I need help. Is the elevator in front of me? I love that, at hotels.
Where's the number?
What terminal I'm at?
Yeah. Now, just to play it safe. I want to always, when we talk about this one, I always bring this up. They are not responsible for you crossing streets and finding things like that. So
don't try that.
Yeah.
But and it's a given, you know. Yeah. But again, having that type of technology now at the tip of your fingertips, it's amazing. I remember back in the day, like I said, when I was working with Tom, you know, we were, you know, just making do what we had, you know, asking for help by other individuals near us, you know, or just having to not participate or, you know, deal without, or, you know, but now it's like there's no excuse.
None.
There's really not, you know, even, you know, here in the near future, you know, we're going to have, there's self-driving cars already. So
there's self-driving cars. I still personally don't trust them.
Okay.
I get all
you
scared.
You can say that, and then you put on those Apple Vision Pros,
yeah.
and you're getting a Tesla, and
then that's the exciting part, guys. Too, is like these are things that we've talked about up until this point are things that exist now on your phone, like apps to read your money, apps to read letters, magnifiers to people you can contact to help you read and do things that you may need assistance for. But the future is all in AI and there's so much that is happening that is changing the game. I mean, we honestly should have another Tech Sided at some point to talk about some of the future things that are happening. You brought up the Vision Pro, which is something I've been keeping an eye on, no pun intended. And it finally was reported that it's going to have voiceover on it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. That's not enough. Like I would not go pay the price that they're going to be charging for this just for voiceover for something on my head when I have my phone in my hand. But what it did tell me is that, like always, Apple is focused in on accessibility.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot more to this device. And I think of the Patriot that you talked about. I think of the capability that an Apple quality device, we're talking high definition Retina display type visuals on a pair of goggles that may or may not have the magnification ability. I'm excited for things like that.
Yeah.
And that's the future.
There's a lot coming through, you know. Vision health is a key thing, you know, for the future. People are seeing this, you know, seeing that there's a need to support the community, and they're coming out. And again, like I go back to, you know, this all started, you know, with me taking some training from Tom. I tell him all the time, you know, he was a very, you know, he played a very key part of my life. And even though he didn't think of it at the time, but he played a real key part of my life to be where I'm at now. And I think
7th grade, dude, you were just a teenage boy. You were probably what, 12?
Probably
11, 12? 11.
Yeah. And the agency's been around that long and supporting people in the community that long. Yeah. And they continue to do that.
So you're trying to tell me you're 61?
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Yeah. I feel like that sometimes, man. I feel like that. And I just want to give thanks to everybody, you know, and like you said, I it's not just about me. It's about the mission. You know, we're here, you know, to support, you know, train and employ people with vision loss.
And speaking of the mission, because this is the last thing I want to cover before we get out of here. It's above and beyond now of what we offer with assistive technology and the amazing work that Tom and Alvin and Martell are doing right now in that field. But now we have opportunities that come up for people to take those skills and then go to the next level where you and I are sitting, right? Where we could help them take it and actually put it to use and show how they can make money with it.
Yeah, compete in this employment market and do a darn good job of it too. And I love hearing when I talk to our partners and our county supporting team and their managers. They're like, man, Joaquin, Bona, they're just killing it. They could just show up and they just put in the work, and you know they're amazing. Yeah, and I believe it. I know I work hand in hand with them, but there's so many other people out there that can do the same things that Joaquin and Bona are doing. It's just trying to get them in the workplace.
And the work we're doing is not like survey calls or questionnaire calls or anything like that. The level of the projects we're getting, they're high level.
Yeah.
High level call center work, high level computer data entry type jobs that we're killing it.
Yeah.
And that is a testament to our instructors, our program, the past 50 years, the work that you've done, the work that you can continue to do at the next level yourself now, right? Because you not only taught it, you use it. You're not only, what is it? You're not only a member, but you're also a client. But like, I see it, and I've seen the growth in others, but in myself and my ability to use this technology. Martel's a great story. We've had him on here before. We told this story. I mean, from day one, his ability to now he teaches this stuff. So like the opportunities that VCB is giving our community is more than impactful. It's powerful.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's the epitome of independence, dude.
Yeah.
The ability to make your own living. And we have great stories. Well, we're not going to tell them here today because we're going to bring these people on, but we have some great stories in-house.
I got to do this. One last one.
Go for it.
Shout out to Jesse.
Oh, Jesse, if you made it this far, Jesse, we thank you.
Thank you.
Shout out to Jesse Martinez.
Wonderful man.
Yeah.
I look forward to bringing him on as well and get his story and
he needs to be on here.
Yeah.
We need to bring him on a tech episode. He loves our tech shows.
Yeah. Excited.
Jesse, tech-sided.
But
he tells me every day.
Yeah. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jason, for letting me share my story. And, again, I encourage everyone to give assistive technology a chance.
Well, thank you. And thank Martel and Tom and Alvin. I know Joey. There's so many people that have been part of this organization that has taught AT. Thank you. You guys don't realize how key you are into our independence, and we all appreciate you. That's going to wrap up the show for this month. We want to thank all of our listeners, as always, for participating, giving us feedback. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't be afraid to email us at info@myvcb.org. That's info@myvcb.org. Give us feedback. Let us know your thoughts, your feelings, maybe something you want us to cover or talk about. We're here for you.
Yep, on YouTube. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yes, it's summer. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves and each other.